There we go. I think we got it now. All right.
Well, hello everyone. It is 6:01 p.m. So we had a little technical difficulties, but we're here now. So hello, welcome to the Green Table Senior Care Talk Show. I'm Kayla Bowens. I'm with the admissions team, and joining me to my right is Mr. Lee Wright. He's the director of transportation. So we'll be your co-host for tonight. So we'll get right into it. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the Silver Tsunami. So if you guys have been paying attention to our company page, Innovative Senior Solutions, then you have probably heard us talking about the Silver Tsunami. So for those of you who don't know what the Silver Tsunami is, the Silver Tsunami is what we use to describe the massive um, growing or aging population known as the baby boomers.
Mm.
So by 2030, 1 in 5 Americans will be 65 or older. So that is the wave that we're getting ready to prepare for, and me and Lee are gonna share a little bit about how you can prepare for that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Glad to be on with you. If you haven't already, please take a moment to share the page, to like it. Share this with somebody that you know or may know who needs the information. I think this is a great opportunity to share our perspective from what we kind of have witnessed and what we are anticipating that will come. And we're going to do our best tonight to try to share a little bit of that with you. Okay, so bear with us. We're not your everyday co-host, your every Monday co-host, but you know what? We're going to fill in to the best of our abilities for Sean and Jessica tonight, and hopefully they're watching us and joining us somewhere out there. So hey to you all. Um, well, Kayla kind of mentioned in the intro there about the Silver Tsunami, what we've been talking about, and if you've been tuning in to the 12 o'clock news and watching us from any time, you heard about the Silver Tsunami. I mean, it's like something that it's not just a buzzword though. It is something that's actually is coming, and we want to do our best to help prepare. So, just like Kayla was saying here on the intro, what is a tsunami? And me and her were beginning to talk about it, back before we came out, and we was talking about what is a tsunami, and how is it different from some of the other natural disasters that we are aware of in the United States. I mean, we're aware of tornadoes, we're aware of flash floods. We know what to do in case of a hurricane. I mean, we kind of know what to do, but a tsunami is something that you don't really hear about every day in the United States. And so, with that being said, we did a little background, just a little digging, just so we can bring a little context, a little clarity, a little imagery to what we're talking about tonight. And a tsunami is something that takes place after an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean, right? And it's bubbling under the surface. You don't see it. There's like no wind. There's no indicators that a tsunami is coming. It is something that is coming, though, with no warning. And we're here today to kind of sound the alarm, to kind of give the senior community and our community a little warning about what's to come. And one of the things that's important to us is to make sure that the communities are prepared for what is the Silver Tsunami. So I'm just going to kind of continue to kind of give Kayla a little room here to kind of narrate us. But Kayla, I want to ask, just from your perspective, from emissions, if a tsunami is like a rage of water that comes all of a sudden, like there's no warning, it's just a boom, and then it's here, right? What do you think is one of the challenges that's happening right now, where it's like people not really aware that it's even happening, but it's happening? You don't see the waves, but it's happening under the surface, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question because they say 2030 is the year that we should expect this tsunami, right? But
Right.
Lee, I think it's happening now. It's happening right in front of our faces, especially mine. I'm getting calls every day from caregivers, family caregivers. They're overwhelmed. They're not able to stay home with their loved one because they have to work. So I'm getting calls daily for people needing help with their loved ones, Lee. And when they're calling me, they are needing help. Like it's gotten to that point They need help right away. They need someone in the home. They need to send them out of the home. And what I have to explain to them is that it is a process. It does take about, like I always say, it takes us about 90 days to get people admitted into our program, especially if they're not able to pay out of pocket. If that is an option for them, it's as simple as getting forms signed by their doctor, and we're able to admit them and start providing services. But if that's not the case, then they do have to apply for waivers, and that is what takes the 90 days.
90 days.
90 days.
Wow.
90 days. So just imagine, if you're calling, you're overwhelmed and you're needing help, and then that's what I have to drop that bomb daily that it's gonna take 90 days, and that kills me. So I really want to express that you do have to prepare. If you see signs, like if you see that your loved one they may be dealing with memory loss. They may, just becoming forgetful. They're leaving the stove on at home. They're not remembering to take their medications. They're not eating. Those are some things that you need to pay attention to. So if you see those things are happening, then that is a sign that you need to start preparing for some type of help.
And the interesting thing like that you mentioned there is you may see signs, and little things. You may try to brush it off, right? Mm-hmm. But you're saying don't wait. Don't wait, because it is a process. It does take time. And I think, for a lot, just as some people, like you said, that when they call you, they need help immediately. It's gotten to the point where, it's no longer safe for mom or dad, or they are doing all of it themselves and they're burnt out, or, they don't have the resources to do X and Y and Z. So it's becoming a lot, and it's something that can overwhelm you. And if you think about a tsunami, I mean, you're talking about on a personal level there, with the family. But we're talking about, on the Silver Tsunami, this is going to happen all over the United States of America. There are going to be families all over the United States of America. There are going to be communities all over the United States of America that are feeling this wave, this pressure you're talking about. And so many families, I think you said 2030 is what you said. Mm-hmm. So 2030 is the projected year when all of the baby boomers will have boomed, right? And so, if you're watching this right now and you like what we're talking about, please share this, invite somebody with this. If you're a community leader, if you know someone, because it's not only about the individual being prepared, it's also about the communities being prepared. And if the communities are not prepared to handle the influx and the all of a sudden wave that's going to come, then we're going to see a lot of people get hurt and a lot of people get not access to the healthcare and the things that they need. And so, I'm with you, Kayla. I think you hit the nail on the head. We have to sound the alarm. Communities have to be prepared, not just from a senior care perspective, but from the municipality perspective. Communities, counties, towns, they have to be prepared to handle what is coming. And if you're not preparing now, you're already behind the curve. And so 2030, I mean, we're 5 years out. I mean, this year is going out in the bang now. So, we really have to get the word out there to prepare families, to prepare communities for how to navigate this. Because if you're not prepared and it happens all of a sudden, and you don't know the resources, you don't have the things that are already in place, you're going to be overwhelmed. So this is I think a really important conversation we're having this afternoon about, what is a silver tsunami, and then how to prepare for it. And then also from our perspectives, like what we have seen in the field. So,
I think you tied it up. Like I said, share this live. If you know anybody who are within the ages of 61 or older, if you yourself or if you know anyone in between those ages, please share this live. Come in if you have any questions. We are located here in Americas. If you want to come in, stop by and see us. But like we said, the Silver Tsunami is on its way.
Well, can I add one thing, if you don't mind?
Go ahead.
And as we were thinking and we're talking, through this, like you work on the admission side of things, right? So your job is to, get people signed up, or once they have signed up, is to get them enrolled in the programs, let them know what's available to them, point people in the right direction, right? And link programs to them. Mm-hmm. And I think about from a transportation perspective, once you do your role in your position, what you're called to do with them, then transportation is like the middle linkage. I just feel like, transportation. We have community transits. We have modern. If you live in the city, we have different other transportation avenues that are available. But if we don't prepare now and we don't get ready, then the linkage to the healthcare, the linkage to the doctor appointments, the linkage to the follow-up appointments, the linkage to going able to get medication, the linkage to being able to go out and get groceries, all of these things that our senior community would depend on as far as transportation goes will go missing. And it's I think it's critical, mission critical for the rural communities, that not only that sometimes doesn't have the resources that the cities have, larger cities, but how to be prepared in those areas. I think that's one thing that's on my mind, is that if we want to talk about being prepared, well, it's one thing to get them in the program, but then it's another thing to link them back to the follow-up appointment. So if we don't do this, and the communities don't take this to heart and start to work on putting a plan in place of how to address this before 2030, before 2050, we get those places, you'll see many seniors like sitting in isolation or being neglected or not having access to the health care that they need. And so I think these roles that we're discussing tonight, as far as it's just a conversation, it's to spark the idea, what you can discuss with your community leaders, what you can discuss with the healthcare organizations in your area, or what you can, reach out to Innovative Senior Solutions to find out more information about, is about how to prepare and how to get that thought, that wheel turning of this is where we are now. So I just wanted to share that, Kayla, if you didn't mind.
Question.
Oh, I think, okay, we have a question. I'm sorry, I didn't see it in the chat, but go ahead, Kayla. You want to tell us what we got?
Yes. So the question is, what services do our transportation department offer?
So what service do our transportation department offer? So here at Innovative Senior Solutions right now, we operate to service the seniors that attend our adult day centers. We provide transportation to and from their homes, and then from the center back to their homes. We also do intermediate transportation as far as when it comes down to doctor appointments. So those are some things that I think that we offer now, but there are other transportation avenues available when it comes down to maybe, going to the Social Security department to take care of some personal business, or going to a therapy appointment, a follow-up appointment, to go to an after hours. So there are other avenues out there that cities, some municipal, some counties offer. But I think from a transportation perspective at Innovative, that's kind of what we are.
And if I can, I would like to shine a light on our transportation department, because we talk about people needing our services, and they get approved for these programs where they can receive the services. But sometimes there is an issue with transportation. Their loved one is at work. They don't have transportation. A lot of them cannot drive. So transportation is a big piece for adult day. And so I just want to shine a light on transportation, because without you guys, I don't know, Lee, it would be pretty hard to admit these people without the transportation.
Well, I thank you, for saying that, but it's the linkage, right? It's the linkage. And, when we talk about the numbers, we say, hey, there's in 100 days, every 100 days, 1 million people turn 65. We're telling you the numbers, right? And then, but beyond the numbers, we're talking about real families. We're talking about individuals that will one day need or currently do need the service. And so, I think that's also important to shine a light on that. We're trying to help real families navigate care. And, we can't stop the wave. We can't stop the tsunami from happening, right? I mean, we just can't.
You just got to ride the wave.
But we can help families we can help guide families of how to ride the wave. What's available. Here's who you need to talk to. Here's what you need to do next. And then this is what's available. So being able to help families get through it safely, because the ones that are prepared will have the ability to be able to navigate it safely.
Yes.
So I know we got a couple people on. Thank you all for joining on with us. We're real quick and short tonight. Hi, Sis Carter. It's Evelyn Carter on. She said hello us too. Please leave us something in the chat. We'll do our best to answer. If you haven't already, please share this with someone. Invite them to come on and join us and be a part of the conversation tonight. And I just ask that, if you haven't already thought about some of the barriers to senior care that's in the industry, some of the challenges that our seniors may face coming up to 2030, and even present now. Drop it in the chat. Let us know. Help us to get our wheels turning. Help. If you're seeing something in the community, if you're seeing something, that can probably be done better. Yeah, join the conversation. We want you to be a part of the conversation too. We want you to invite you in. Drop something in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's put it out there so that we can get the wheels turning. Because you know what? If we don't talk about it and we don't speak it into existence, then guess what happens? People go without service. People go without the help they need. People are left in isolation. People are left neglected. And we don't want that to happen to anyone, to our seniors in our communities who have paved the way for each and every one of us. So if there's nothing else, nobody going to jump in the chat and share anything with us or ask us anything or add some fuel to the fire. We take it all. We're not we're not afraid to ask for help. You know what I mean? So if there's nothing else, Kay, you want to wrap us up? Or
Yeah, I'll wrap it up. I think you said it earlier, Lee, that we are here to just ring the alarm. We want to bring awareness to the community. This tsunami is on its way in 2030, and like I said, I'm seeing some of the raindrops now.
Right.
So yes, we'll be here again next Monday at 6 p.m. So join us. We're going live.
I'm gonna say this now. You probably have your favorite co-host back in the seat next Monday. It probably won't be us too, but hey, we always glad to be on with y'all. Thank you all so much for sharing this. Thank you so much for dropping something in the comment, letting us know that you are on with us, and we thank you all for your time this afternoon.
All right, bye.
All right, bye bye.